Okay, so we're on the roof of the vehicle here, and we're putting in a MaxxAir fan, 7500 on here, which is right there, upside down, and which is good because it's cool, better than the Fan-tastic because you can open it, Fan-tastic fan, because you can open it in the rain and get air circulation without having rain go in. It's what all the major RV people use. So I started our hole with this guy right here, and we're very careful to set these sharp things down on the glass of our solar panels because I have nowhere else to put them, so we're being very careful. And now we're gonna cut the roof open. Yahoo! We've measured it all out with this piece right here, and now we cut that around and put it in, and we'd be jamming, man. Okay. So this is how we make the turns. Use one of these, put it in there, and drill that out, and then cut in a straight line, just big enough to fit this in. Can you believe it? Brand new 2016 Sprinter van for like 50 grand. We're already cutting holes in it after the first week or so of having it. Yahoo! Here we go, let's do this. Finish her off. Right. Okay, so now we have this nicely cut, and we've even gotten it fancy and filed the edges a little bit so we don't cut ourselves. And we put this on, this MaxxAir right there. And when you install these, you install these things to the sides of the vehicles. You have plenty of clearance between our solar. And now we have this issue right here, which luckily we already thought about, where we have a gap right here because we have ridges in our roof. So how are we going to deal with that? We went to good old McMaster and bought this stuff. A nice 1/4 inch sheet of polyethylene sheeting. What is that? LDPE natural whatever. Anyway, this is the exact same size as this gap. So when we cut this, we're going to cut these and slip it under here. This is going to be wrapped all the way around there like that, and that will level everything out and take care of this giant gap right here because of these ridges. Okay, so now we've put this custom-made gap filler right there, if you can see it. I don't know if in the shade you can see down there. And we've cleaned it off with mineral spirits, and we've have these clamps here to hold everything in place as we drill out the holes, pilot drill them. So we can screw in these non-tapping metal screws that came with the MaxxAir fan thing. And so now it's all flush all the way around. We're going to put this butyl tape. Now with that, everything's all drilled out and ready, because you don't want to do that with the butyl tape on because it will squeeze out the butyl tape and break the seal. So you pre-drill everything, and then you put, now I'm going to take it all apart. That's these clamps right there just to hold everything in place so the holes perfectly line up at the end. And now we're going to take everything apart, put the butyl tape on, and we're going to be and then we're going to seal it with that Dicor stuff, and then we'll be done up here. Just everything screws on that piece, just screws onto these 4 brackets, and it's pretty straightforward from there. Okay, so now this is all installed, and we put the butyl tape stuff on there, which is really sticky. And best learning is you take one continuous stream of butyl tape and you just put it around, and it takes 2, this is 3/4 inch, and this is about 1 inch right there, so or 1.5 inch right there. So I doubled them up, like put them side by side like that to double wide, and so you just start. Ideally, you have the seam in the back where there's the least amount of water going to go in, because all the water when you're driving is going to push that way. Start your seam right there, go around the perimeter, and then go around again like that on the outside, and then overlap the seam. And I had to do it 2 layers. I did one underneath, down on the bottom, and then I'd set my spacers right here. If we can see my spacers here. See if we can get a visual on that. Into the shadow. Right there. That's a spacer. See, like that. And I don't know if you're picking up anything. Oh, it's really too close maybe. Like that. And anyway, so then so I did it on the bottom, and then laid down my spacer things all the way around. I have one right there, one right here, one long piece right here, and then another one right there to bridge that gap, and then another one right there. And so I laid all those down, and then I put another continuous stream of butyl tape around it, spiraled around it 1 time and then 2 times like that. And then I pre-drilled my holes so I don't squish all my butyl tape out and create gaps. So then I just screwed through the pre-drilled holes. And some of the screws that they come with weren't long enough, so I had got some of these like that were a little bit longer. 1 1/4, that's what it comes with. So because I have such a huge gap in my application right there, and like that, and now I'm trimming the edge like that. I'm just going around and trimming the edges of what's squished out. Trim all this stuff off, and that comes off fairly easily like that. And it's like bubble gum, but it doesn't stick to your fingers so much. And you don't want to be careful not to pull out any from inside the stuff. And then we will put this stuff on there on top, Dicor lap sealant. All around here and on these things, and there's a piece of plastic stuck on that. Okay, cool. Okay, so now we're going to install this top part. This has been caulked around here with the Dicor, and because it's such a steep grade, it's all mostly plopped down, which is kind of what I want. It's a little thick, but that's okay. I'm going to go over it again, and like that. So that looks good. And get over these ridges so that it seals and is flush. And just waiting for it to dry. And as we do that, it's actually a genius design, the MaxxAir fan, because the Fan-tastic fan is all one piece. This is part of the top piece, but they have this as a separate piece, so you can remove this part for servicing or replacing that flange or what have you, and get this whole mess out of the way, which I think is a real genius design. So, and this also has a little gasket down in this crevice right here that will prevent any water from anything, and just completely seal this differently, somehow slipping across and going up, over, and around. It's like triple. It's impossible pretty much for it to get in there. Genius design. Okay, and so what I found the first time I did this, when you shove these little clips down all the way, the screw holes don't line up. It's supposed to be just up a tad bit, and then the weight of the unit itself will push those down into place. And so now we're going to take our screws, and hopefully this time it lines up a little better. This side does a bit. And try not to fall off your Sprinter van roof while you do this. That would be a bummer. Okay, there we go. And ratcheting screwdrivers are always very helpful when they turn the right direction. And that's pretty simple as that. And you put those in all the way around, not too tight or you're going to crack the housing. And there's just 4 of them. And then you're done. Just wire it in. Great. Okay, so now this is on, and then we just remove this cover here that comes with it. Protective sheeting cover. Like that, nice and shiny, yay. And dear beautiful Chandra, who's inside, will shut the lid like that. All right, beautiful, looking good. Gradual progress. Yay. The other cool thing about this company is these stickers, their big old huge brand naming is not permanent, which is cool that I don't have to become a billboard for them. So, and they come off fairly easily, even with no fingernails. Oops. It's hard to do this with one hand and shoot camera. Yeah, beautiful. All the solar panels.